Okay, fourth grade friends, welcome to Module 7, Lesson 1. I'm going to be using the homework page, but you are going to be using the problem set. So remember that our problems are going to be very similar. The process is going to be similar, but my numbers are going to be slightly different. All right, let's look at this conversion chart right here. The object of this module is going to be creating conversion tables that are going to help us with measurement problems that have length, weight, and capacity in them. So let's look at this one. Problem is in pounds and ounces. So the way this conversion chart works is we have to find a rule. And in that rule, then we're going to be able to convert pounds to ounces. So the rule on this chart is 1 pound is 16 ounces. So for every pound, we are going to multiply every pound by 16 to get the number of ounces it has. So the rule up here, I'm going to put times 16 up there. So 2 pounds times 16 is going to be 32 ounces. 4 pounds is going to be 4 times 16, and that will be equivalent to 64 ounces. And if you're not sure what it is, you don't have to have it in your head. You just make a little math problem over here of 16 times 4, and you'll come up with 64. 10 times 16 is 160, and 12 times 16, I could either take 10 and 2 and add the 32 to the 160 to get the 12, or I could just say 16 times 12. Either way, I'm going to come up with 192. So I've completed my first conversion chart, and now I have a question. It says that Renee's baby sister weighs 7 pounds, 2 ounces. How many ounces does her sister weigh? So I know that I have 7 pounds, and in each pound, it's going to be 16 ounces. So first thing I have to do is I have to convert my 7 pounds into ounces. So I'm going to multiply 16 by 7 to find out how many ounces are in that 7 pounds. And I'm going to do my multiplication. 6 times 7, you never get away from these. 6 times 7 is 42, and 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 more is 111. So my 7 pounds have 112 ounces. But she didn't just weigh 7 pounds, she weighed 7 pounds plus 2 more ounces. So that 112 plus that 2 more ounces means that she's going to be 114 ounces, using my conversion chart to help me find that answer. So now I can use that same idea, but use a different form of measurement. Now I'm going to do measurement of length. So I've got yards. So I've got 3 yards. We've got 1 yard. And the rule on this one is going to be times 3, because I'm converting yards into feet, and there are 3 feet in every yard. So if I have 2 yards, I'm going to have 6 feet. And if I have 3 yards, 3 times 3, that's 9 feet. 5 times 3 would be 15 feet. And of course, 10 times 3 would be 30 feet. So if I have 10 yards, I'm going to have 30 feet. The next conversion table is going to take feet and find out, well, feet are made up of inches, so how many inches are in 1 foot? Well, I can tell you, 12. So the rule on this table is going to be times 12. Every foot, I'm going to times by 12 to find out the inches. So 2 feet times 12 is going to give me 24 inches. 5 feet times 12 is going to give me 60 inches. 10 feet times 12 is going to give me 120 inches. And 15 times 12 is going to give me 180 inches. Now, I'm not expecting you to have these in your head, and remind you that you can always do the multiplication problem on a separate piece of paper to find out what your answer is going to be. Now, I've moved yards and converted them to feet. I've converted feet into inches, but now what if I want to take yards and convert them all the way over to inches? Well, there's 3 feet, and there's 12 inches in every foot, so there must be in every yard 36 inches. So in 3 yards, I'm going to have to multiply each of these by 36. So the rule on this table from yards to inches is going to be times 36. So in 3 yards, there will be 108 inches. In 6 yards, there would be 216. Remember, I would just take 36 times 6, 18, 19, 20, 21, and I would get 216, and that's how we get that answer right there. In 10 yards, I would have 360 inches, and in 12 yards, I would have 432 inches. So now that my conversion tables are complete, I can use that information to help me solve some of these math riddles. For example, this one, 2 yards and 2 inches. Well, I know in 2 yards, and I'm converting it into inches, so it's really important for me to look. In 1 yard, there's 36 inches, and I have 2 yards, so I'm going to actually have 36 plus 36. That's going to be equal to 72 inches. And 72 inches plus 2 more inches is going to be 74 inches. Let's look at this one, 4 yards and 2 feet. So in every yard, I'm going to have 3 feet. So in 4 yards, I would have 12 feet plus 2 more feet. So in this one, I would have 14 feet when I do the conversion of 4 yards and 2 feet into all feet. If you look over on this one over here from yards to feet over here, I've got kind of the same thing, 13 yards. Well, I'm not going to write 13 times. It would be easier for me to just say, well, 13 times 3 is 39. So I've got 39 feet with this 13 yards, plus 1 more foot is going to give me 40 feet. And 5 yards, 2 feet is going to give me how many inches? Well, 5 yards and yards to inches, I'm going to have to multiply by 36. So I'm going to have to take 36 and multiply by 5, and that's going to give me 180. So now at 180 and 2 more feet, but I still got to find out those inches. So 2 feet to inches, well, 2 feet to inches is 24. So I can add that together, and the answer is 204 inches. Now, Allie has a piece of string that is 6 yards and 2 feet long. How many inches of string does she have? Again, you're going to go through the whole process again, and you're going to say 6 yards. It's the same as solving this one over here. 6 times 3 is going to give you how many feet? That's 18 feet. 18 feet plus 2 feet is going to give you 20 feet. So now I have 20 feet, but it doesn't ask me how many feet. It asks me how many inches. So I know feet to inches, I'm going to have to multiply by 12. So 20 times 12 is going to give me 240. So the answer would be 240 inches. Have fun with your conversion charts. Use that information to be a math detective.